prayed the prayer 1,000 ways. Lord, I'll go, just show me first. Lay it out in lines I can follow. Make it plain, make it safe, make it work. Give me the timeline, the backup options. Color code the road I'm walking on. But you don't hand me life in blueprints. You say, trust me now and come. Like a voice through the dashboard, steady and kind, calling me left when I'd rather drive mine. You don't fight me when I miss the turn. You just recalculate what I still have to learn. So I will walk where he leads, not where it's easy, not where I plan to be. If the cloud moves, I'm moving. If it stays, then I'll learn how to wait and breathe. I don't need the whole journey, I just need your presence here with me. 'Cause the point was never where I'm going, it's walking where he leads. It's walking where he leads. Moses had marble under his feet, a palace life, a prince's name, power in reach, a future in Egypt, but fire in his bones for his people's pain. He saw injustice, struck in anger, buried the body beneath the sand, tried to save a nation too early with his own strength and his own hand. He thought he was ready, thought they would see, thought the moment had come for his destiny. But one wrong move and the dream fell through, and the desert became what he had to walk through. So he learned to walk where he leads, not by power, not by what he believed. From a palace to a pasture, from a sword to a staff in the wilderness. He in the silence wasn't wasted. Every year was teaching him dependency. The road looked like a detour, but it was walking where he leads. And it was walking where he leads. 40 years with sheep and sand, no burning bush, no prophet's word. Just a quiet life in Midian, and maybe wondering if heaven still heard. But God was shaping one ambition never could have formed alone, teaching patience, teaching weakness, teaching Moses he was not enough on his own. Then the bush caught fire, and the fire spoke a plain. Take off your sandals, this ground bears my name. And when Moses asked, who am I for this? You didn't praise his strength, you answered with this: I will walk where you go, I will be with you through Pharaoh and the sea. I don't need your perfection, I just need your surrender, yes, to me. The call is not about your power, it's about my presence faithfully. So Moses learned the holy secret of walking where he leads, of walking where he leads. Oh, cloud would move and they would follow, the cloud would stop and they would stay. No map on road across the table, no 5-year plan to light the way. Some days too nice, some days a year dead, waiting on a movement they could not control. That's what it means to follow heaven, to let its presence set the pace of your soul. And when God said, I'll send an angel, Moses said, that will not do. If your presence doesn't go before us, we are not moving without you. Not the promise without the promiser, not the land without the flame. Because a destination without your glory is just a place without your name. So I will walk where he leads, when the road turns strange, when it bends beneath me, when he says now, I will answer. When he says wait, I will trust what I can see. I don't need the whole journey, I just need his presence here kind of fear that comes with clarity when you know what God said and still can't breathe. You prayed it through, got counsel, searched the word. In the same direction keeps on being heard. It's not confusion, it's the cost. Yes, it's standing at the edge with your pounding chest. Every part of you says stay right here, but the voice of God says move through the fear. You can see the river running wild and deep. You can hear the logic begging you to keep both feet on the bank where it all makes sense. But faith don't live behind a fence. So step into the water even while it's rising. Walk into the fight before the path gets decided. You don't wait for courage till the fear is gone. You walk because he said to, and you carry on. The walls don't fall before the marching starts. The river doesn't part before a beating heart. So pick up the promise and move when he calls. Step into the water and watch the giants fall. Giants fall. And watch the giants fall. Then Moses died and heaven spoke plain. No long handoff, no time to explain. Arise now, Joshua, cross this place. Lead these people by my strength and grace. And 3 times over God said the same. Be strong, be courageous, don't fear what you face. Not because Joshua felt no dread, but because fear was there and he moved ahead. That's what courage is. Not a calm, easy soul. It's trembling obedience under holy control. Not the absence of fear, not a painless release. Just trust in his voice more than your need for peace. So step into the water even while it's rushing. Even when your questions keep on pressing, pushing. You don't need to feel brave to obey the Lord. You just need to trust that he goes before. The path shows up after the priests get wet. The grace comes down where your foot is set. So pick up the promise and move when he calls. Step into the water and watch the giants fall. And watch the giants fall. And Jericho stood like a mocking sermon. Thick walls laughing at every human burden. No battering ram, no clever attack. Just circles and silence and a trumpet blast. It looked like nonsense, it looked too small. But heaven's ways don't bow to our walls. He didn't need the strategy mapped in his head. He just needed to walk where the Lord had led. Somebody standing at a Jordan tonight, staring at a river in the fading light. Somebody's pacing around their own Jericho, trying to figure out what only faith can know. Have the talk, make the move, stop the thing, let it burn. Trust the God who waits on the other turn. He won't ask you to step in and leave you there. The fight may the giants fall. Yeah, step into the water, watch the giants fall. show me the people, I'll show you the road. That's how the heart gets shaped, that's how a life unfolds. One voice says pray through it, one says just numb the pain. One hand pulls you toward the light, one keeps you where you've been. It happens in the quiet, in ordinary days, in lunch break conversations, and the company we keep. The ones you walk beside are never neutral to your soul. They're either pulling you toward God or pulling you from home. So if wisdom has a pathway and foolishness one too, then every step beside someone is shaping what I'll do. Where you go, I will go. If your feet are heading toward the Lord, if your God is life and fire, I don't want the old anymore. I will leave the safe and familiar. I will walk the coast so I can't see through. 'Cause where I go matters, but who I go with matters too. Naomi came back broken, carrying the ache of years. A famine graves in Moab, and a heart baptized in tears. No husband there beside her, no sons left in her hands, just the ashes of a life she never thought would end like that. She told the girls, go home now, go back to what you know, go back to your own mothers, your own gods, your own roads. And one kissed her in sorrow and turned to what was known. But Ruth stood in the crossroads and chose a different home. It wasn't sentiment talking, it wasn't poetry alone. It was a woman seeing God enough to leave the life she'd known. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I'll stay there too. Your people will become my people, and your God will make me new. I will leave the safe and familiar, I will cross the line of calls me through. 'Cause where I go will matter, but who I go with matters too. She walked into Bethlehem as nobody at all, a foreign widow gleaning what was left behind to fall. Dust on her hands, no promise in her pocket, just faith enough to follow where the true God had her walking. And in a field of leftovers, grace met her in a mess. Boaz saw the story written in a steady hand, not because she chased attention, not because she made a sound, but faithfulness has a way of making heaven's favor known. The right people don't just notice, they cover and make room. They build a place for faith to breathe and keep a heart in bloom. Where you go, I will go. If your road is leading nearer him, if your life reflects his mercy, I will follow through the unknown wind. I will leave the safe and familiar, though the cost may cut the nights feel long. 'Cause the road can change forever by the ones you walk among. Sometimes walking toward the right ones means walking from the wrong. Not everybody left behind you was cruel or dark or strong. Send me someone storm-worn true, someone whose faith kept breathing when the night split straight in two. And if I'm Naomi to somebody, let my quiet life make room for one more roof to find the living God and walk out of the gloom. Where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I'll lodge there too. Your God will be my future, your faith will help me follow through. I will leave the safe and familiar, I will trust there's more.